Can't we all get along? Some time ago, I naively questioned my Twitter followers whether or not they think my parents would like me if I was not their son. And of course, I don't expect any answer because a lot of my questions are rhetorical. But obviously, rhetorical questions do require rhetorical answers. And so, reason why I say such a question, such as would my parents like me if I was not their child, is naive, is simply because of the fact that to have such an expectation of familiarity or of a certain amount of resonance between two different generations is simply naive, because of the very fact that two people coming from two different ages would have the essences of themselves that are different to one another. But of course, you can find familiarity in anything. And that's why I want to talk about this briefly, because of the fact that we are different does not mean we can't get along. Doesn't mean that at all. We can actually find the similarities in our differences if we were to just go further than the surface and go right to the core. And so although you will find differences between yourselves and your parents, or different generations, or different races, or different customs, all of those things really, they mean nothing in the scheme of things, unless you are working on a base level, which I would be sure no one would aspire to. So we can appreciate that we are different, because in fact, it's funny that I feel or felt that I was someone who was a rarity in terms of, things I'm into, things I like to talk about. There is no such. There is no such. I mean, a lot of the things I get or do not get would be the opposite of what my parents get or do not get. But for the most part, we get along. And I think that's simply because we've learned to appreciate and see the similarities in our differences. But this goes way beyond just the familial ties. This is a worldwide thing. You meet new people, different people all the time. So because you are coming from different places and are born a lot of the time at different times, does not mean you can't get along. It simply just means making an effort to see the other person's perspective and worldview. So where I used to get frustrated and I used to be a bit resentful about the fact that I can't click with people different, all I had to do was flick the switch of perspective, and recognize that me coming into the face of someone different to me is a blessing and not a curse, because there is much that they have to offer me and much that I have to offer them. Thank you.